We got Facebook cooking for us.
Yeah, man. And the book, the 5 a.m. Club.
YouTube.
Yeah, in the book, the 5 a.m. Club, they say being done is better than being perfect.
Man, perfect is evil. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
It's evil?
Perfect is some evil fuckery, man. I'm tired of perfect shit. Niggas will throw away the best shit ever, bro, because it's not perfect. Like, man, shut the fuck up, nigga. That shit is better than, it's better than, nothing at all.
Yeah.
Perfect?
Yeah.
Perfect is the enemy of good.
Yeah.
Shit, perfect is
like, you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Perfect is the enemy of great. We got Shaunta Kenerly in here, dude. We big lit.
For sure.
What's up with it, bro?
I want to go viral real quick, man.
Man, no doubt. Well, shit, we live right now, so let's get it popping. What's up, P? What you got, bro?
So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I had some time today to actually read this book, you know what I'm saying? Which this book is super dope, you know what I'm saying? This is called Escaping the Allure of the Game, right? And one part I liked about in the book was where there was, you know what I'm saying? It was like a dirty cop in the book, you know what I'm saying? Where he was trying to test them to see what's going on. And then, I mean, I'm not going to give spoilers away, right? But, you know what I'm saying? It was some loyalty being tested in that, right? So for me to tie the two stories together, have you guys seen the little Bootsy video where he was telling the officer that he'll pay him double his salary to come work for him? Have you seen that, Sean? Word. So, I mean, like, is that bribing a cop? I mean, is that a normal thing in the streets? Like, SMED?
Is bribing a cop a normal thing in the streets? I don't know. I don't think so. But it probably is in certain circles. But just like a police officer pull you over and you offer him, say, $1,000 to let you go driving with no license, do you think they would take it?
Nah, it ain't worth their job.
What you think? What you think, Sean? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's legal for them to do that if you're out of state. So I remember I got pulled over in Michigan, and I got pulled over in Michigan, and then they gave me the opportunity to pay the ticket right there at the stop.
Carletta LaShawn checked in and said, you still getting that ticket.
Huh?
She said you still getting that ticket.
Okay. Yeah.
What was it, bro?
Uh-huh.
What was it, bro?
Mm-hmm. Man, he told the officer, and I repeat, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to double your salary and I'm going to get you sucked every single day.
Damn.
I mean, if I'm a cop and my shorty ain't putting out, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say I'm going to take that option, but Bootsy, I'm sending my resume over. So anyways, man, SMED, you know what I'm saying? This is the Legendary People Podcast. It's your boy, Beanut, the CEO of Dash Resource. I got my man Stacking SMED, bro.
Right, man. Hey, first of all, we want to say what's up to the Horizon Science Academy, Dayton High School. It's an excellent school. And what you say, P?
You ain't cool if you don't go to that school, man. That's a fact, bro. That's a Fendi, boy.
That
you ain't cool if you don't go to that
is a big
school.
fact, man. And Sheiks for breakfast, Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch. If you ever injured, call attorney Michael Wright, 937-222-7477. Make the right choice. What's up to Kiara Wine? When you want to get lit a little bit, get you some good old Kiara Wine. Contact my boy Antoine Cunningham on Facebook, or you can swoop it up at More for Less. And we at T-Shirt Kings, t-shirtkings247.com. Gold for your mouth. And Camera King Studios, Baby Kings coming soon. September 19th, 21st, we going to have like a real open gym for real little kids, man. This shit going to go crazy, man, like 2 and 3 year olds. So make sure that y'all stay tapped into the Baby Kings thing that we're doing. You can register at ohiokings.com/registration. And my bro Peanut Johnson teaches you how to get a big bag of money and invest in your money the right way. Sell stocks, not dope. Every Sunday on the Dash Resource channel. Like, subscribe, ring the bell notification, and see what we up to, man. And so now, without further ado, my brother Peanut Johnson, over to you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And we also got links to well, you know, like a catalog of, you know what I'm saying, our bros books in the comment section, in the description, so you guys can check it out. I also have a link to my book, which is free, Dash Resource 5-Step Beginner's Edition, where I teach you how to learn how to invest in stocks. But we ain't here to talk about me, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. Like I say on this platform, what we're here to say is, you feel me, I say this all the time, Smith, that there's no legend higher, right? Like, there's no, like, we done had on here Daquan Cook, you know what I'm saying? We done had the mayor on here. We done had Desiree Timms. We done had Marlon Shackelford multiple times. We've had Terry the Voice. We've had so many people names to actually put to our credit. But to me, I want to say, man, this is one of the ones that I was hyped for today. I read his book, finished it completely, okay? I was super tapped in, man. We got my bro, Shaunta, Mr. Paperback Kenerly, bro. How you doing, King? For sure, for sure. Yep, for sure, man.
We gotta fucking take a commercial.
Yep, for sure, man. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking bitch.
Appreciate it. For sure. So here on the Legendary People Podcast, we'd like to celebrate our legends with our called the Origins. I'm gonna mess up, man, right?
Yeah.
Called the Origins, right? So without further ado, where'd you grow up, Mr. Paperback? Talk yours, man.
I grew up a little bit of everywhere, man. I was born in Springfield, Ohio, but I ain't never like went to school there. I ain't never,
Can you hear me?
threw a rock there, nothing like that. But I grew up. Actually, my grandma was from Dayton View, so she been in Dayton View for over 40 years. Far as I went to school and stuff like in Jefferson, but we ain't gonna go that far. I know how you be, but I grew up like Prescott, you know, all through like elementary. Dang. And then over to the band, man.
Yeah.
Y'all can hear me?
Word. So like, who were some of your early childhood friends?
Some of my early childhood friends. Man, see, I was.
We can a little bit, so just keep kicking it. I got you.
You can't hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Damn. But yeah, some of my early childhood friends, I was really like.
It's funny, Marco.
With a lot of people, but I was mainly to myself, man.
Yeah, we can hear you. The audience can hear you, and that's the main thing right now. I'm over here tweaking.
But yeah, I was mainly to myself, man. I use my imagination a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to steal toys and shit like that. You feel me?
Oh,
but some of my early childhood friends, I say my homeboy Dave, my homeboy Caddy from JT. Like I said, when I got to the band, my homeboy Marlo. But yeah, mainly, man, I was just kicking it with my family.
Yeah. So like, what was Otterbein like through, you know what I'm saying, like your young lens? Like, what was Otterbein like, you know what I'm saying, like back when you was growing up?
Man, Outer Bound was wild, man. Like now it done calmed down. You gotta remember it was not just Outer Bound apartments where Harold and all that is now. But you used to have Regency Square, Rolling Circle, Fairport Apartments. You had like some little trailers next to Fairport. So that whole area was wild. So even like when my brother and sister was going to Cornell Elementary, man, we used to walk them to school, and I used to see like the local drug dealers, the hoes, and everything else every day. Oh yeah, Timber Creek too, and the hoe. So that whole area was bananas. But yeah, just walking through there, it was like a normal thing seeing, everything that they be saying in their rap lyrics back in the day. You know, your Triple Gold D.
Silver Creek for
I knew all
sure.
the dope boys like standing on the block with the new phone when phones just started jumping. So, I was intrigued by that, but it was like it was normal to me. You know what I'm saying?
And what kind of music did you listen to back in that time?
You talking when I was a kid, or like high school, junior high type?
It's lagging crazy.
What type of music did you listen to, bro?
All right, well,
Yeah.
yeah, man, I always grew up like my mom was always
I
at
mean,
home. I was a West Coast
I want to
kid.
paint the picture of like the backdrop of Outer Bounds. Like, what kind of music was like your OGs playing, or your mom or dad listening to?
Oh man, far as what I was listening to was like Bone, of course. Bone hit the scene real hard.
Yeah.
Lakeside,
Yeah.
Ohio
So
players.
like you had your mom and your dad at the crib. Was it both of them there or
Nah,
just one?
nah. My dad was actually in New York, man. My dad left me like out of my life when I was like five, about three, about 3, 4, or 5.
Mm.
I'm saying, but it was still that distance. You get what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna say like he fully like took me under his wing. You feel what I'm saying? But he didn't get into my
Hold on
household
one
until I
second,
was
John. We
like
have
12,
technical
13
difficulties.
years
We
old.
got to go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Keep going,
Is
P.
that better?
Yeah. So so like you said, like like your stepdad was the one who kind of like looked out for you. But what kind of story did you hear about your dad? Like, was there any time where like your mom be like, "Yo, you act like your dad"? Was there ever like a part where you kind of found out who your dad really was and some of the similarities in there?
Well, see, I would go up to Springfield in the summertime sometimes, and like for holidays and things like that. So my dad would come, like he was in prison a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like he did like 8 years when I was just a youth. You feel me? So he would call home. He would call New York. I mean Springfield, from New York, and I talked to him then. So he was like a really like a phone dad. I didn't have a lot of pictures of him or nothing like that.
Damn, damn, man. How was mom's though? Like, how was mom's to you? Like, what's some of the things like about your mom? Like, are some of the characteristics that like you share with your mom? Mm. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right, Mama Love. Mhm. Mhm. Yep. Yep. Right. Right. Mhm. Right. Mm. It's hard. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, man. So, man, like big shout out to Miles, man. So like what elementary school did you go to? Okay. Yeah, yeah. I grew up in that era. I grew up in that era. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. RP. Mhm. Hickory Dale. Wow. So like did this kind of help you in the writing process where moving around, meeting different people, getting these different, strokes of your paintbrush kind of thing, where it's like, okay, I met this person for a little minute and I kind of see what they're about, or these kind of things in hindsight that you kind of use later on to fuel in your, like in your creation? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 So So which came first? Because you know what I'm saying, like, I love to do research, right? So was your first writing was that the Say No to Drugs campaign, or was it when you wrote like a nasty letter to a lady? Which one was your first writing process? Mm-hmm.
his wife, I forgot her name, but anyway, she had that going on. You know what I'm saying? It used to be like a green and white logo.
Mm-hmm.
So after it kind of died down in the 90s, they came to the schools and was asking like for, you know what I'm saying, a new little pitch or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at Hickorydale and, you know, I seen drugs like when people smoke weed like cigarettes to me, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like drugs was like a normal thing. I had aunties and everything that smoked was getting fucked and everything in Summit Square. So it was like, it wasn't shit. So they had asked to put together a little slogan, and I actually wrote because like, I ain't being funny, but I actually wrote some shit about some roaches, cockroaches, shit that I see every day. You know what I'm saying? Getting high and doing drugs and shit like that. So it was like a little comic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was my little. That's how I first started, and I didn't win, but motherfuckers paid attention to it. Like, man, like you wrote a good story,
Mm-hmm.
and I was only like 8, 9 years old.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, to me, like that's dope because you know, so like looking at where you end up turn into, which we get in there. I mean, it's super dope. But run us through the story of you making a dirty letter for a lady, and then your friends seeing it, and then now they cash you out for you to make more for them.
So when I got in, some young dudes, hopefully y'all paying attention because when I got locked up, a lot of my friends wasn't my friends no more. You know what I'm saying? So when I got in there, a noodle was like $1 in that joint. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So when I was incarcerated. Like I said, I always had the thing of writing, but I was just writing, and one of my homeboys was like, "Man, what you writing? Like you writing a book?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm writing a book." He started reading that joint, so he liked it. He liked the sex scenes that I was writing. He was like, "Hey, his girl already been flirting with, you know, talking her shit through the letters." He was like, "Hey, I want you to write for me." I'm like, "Hey, I just did it just to do it." You know what I'm saying? Like he told me, we sat down on the bunk and he was telling me stories of what they did. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write to it. And I wrote her. We didn't know she wrote right back. You know what I'm saying? Like talking her nasty stuff. He like, bro, I need you to write this. I'm like, shit. Looking at my box is pretty empty. You know what I'm saying? He a little flashy dude. It was from the city too. Damn. It was Tone's bunk bed. But damn, I can't think of his name right now. But anyway, he cashed me out. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it was going back and forth all the way till he left to go home. You know what I mean? But that's how I really kind of got my sex scene game up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? By like I said, listening to his story.
That's a movie too, bro. What movie is that, man? Is it Roxanne? Or is that like a Shakespeare movie where they had a person who was actually writing? You know how they'll be saying stuff from the balcony, serenading the women. You know, bro, I done seen a few movies like that, bro. You know what?
It was a movie, with the dude, the comedian with the long nose. It was that. You talking about
that joint? Steve Martin, Roxanne. That was that. Yeah. But then they also they had another movie that it's like it goes back a long ways, but that's also in Dumber and Dumber, like Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber.
Chris Cooley said, "What's up, man? What's up with it? Mouse Trap, my bro.
Mousy, my dude, man.
He was saying, "What's up to you, man? Sure. What's up with Antoine Cunningham, Carletta LaShawn, Rolling Circle? They don't know nothing about that. So hold on, bro. You was in Rolling Circle?"
I was right down the street. So you remember when somebody was talking about this the other day when they put the gates up, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So if you come off of where a House of Weed at, that's Lori Sue.
Yeah.
So keep on up Lori Sue, you'll hit the band. So those is houses all right there.
Right.
So I was in those little houses right there. So if you turn right, you go into my house to the back of Timber Creek.
Yeah.
But if you go left, you hitting Rolling Circle. So yeah, I was walking through there all the time.
Damn, bro, that's where I was born, Kings Highway, bro, Rolling Circle right there.
Yeah, my mama used to live in a Kings Courts apartment.
Yeah, yep.
Y'all done drunk the same water real far, bro. Y'all done drunk the same water.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Yeah, all day.
So like, what's one of your fondest childhood memories?
Finest childhood memories?
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, I remember I saved my little brother's life.
How so?
So I was like, matter of fact, this is 85. I was only like 5 years old. And I remember I was living on West Grand Street. And my mom she a clean freak. She always cleaning. So she was cleaning the cabinets and stuff. And she had slipped and fell. She was pregnant with me.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? My first reaction was to run to my aunt's house, which was like 2 houses down, run to my aunt's house, and I called 911. Only reason why I knew the number It's because I had a little toy Hot Wheel that had 911 cop car. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? So as soon as I got in there, I banged on the door. She opened up. Like I said, my aunt was a smoker, so she
Yeah.
was lit anyway.
Right.
So I just ran in there, called 911, and I remember them carrying my mom out the house, and I ran back down there. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It was crazy, but yeah, that's one of my fondest kid moments. Like, and I play with my brother all the time about that shit. Like, bruh, you glad I did that, ain't you? Like, shit, you ain't did. You feel me? But yeah.
Word, man. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'll be remiss to not ask you, like, so like, what's one of your like hardest or like one of your worst childhood memories growing up?
Having my uncle die.
Mm.
My uncle was like the rock of our family. Even to this day, we like not one. We have family reunions, and everybody always say like why we ain't tight no more. And it's always because my uncle. You know what I'm saying? My uncle died when I was in the 4th grade, so this was like '89.
What's his name,
Something
bro?
like that, somewhere around there. But he
What?
ended up dying. And he was like I said, he was the one that kicked my ass. He was the one that would come to my sporting events. He was the one that rooted for me when I did anything good or bad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he was like the father of all of us. I had like 5 other male cousins, and he was like our father because we didn't have no male. You know what I'm saying? Nobody had no husbands. Then nobody had no dads in the house. So he was like that dad. You know what I'm saying? We used to steal cars and go to my uncle's house.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Like he was that nigga, man. Like
Yeah.
what
was his name?
He had got stabbed in the heart by his then girlfriend, baby mama, and everything.
Damn.
And my mom rushed off to Good Sam, and she came back. She had blood and shit on her. I stayed up because I was ear hustling. You remember? Man, damn, this is telling my age for real. We used to have the long motherfucking phone cords.
Oh,
you pick
yeah.
up one phone, you hear the shit, right?
Yeah.
So I pick up the phone, I'm hearing the shit like, you know, your brother's in the hospital, whatever. So I stayed up till she got back and she told me, you know, my uncle died. So when they pulled the knife out, that's when he died. So if they would have kept that motherfucker in, you know, he probably would have made it. We don't know. But man, I went to school, man, and every day I cried. Like, bro, I as a kid, I would say like 2 weeks, but in reality, it was probably only like 3 or 4 days. But I'm talking about I was fucked up, had bad dreams, and my temper just like erupted. Like I was just on some bullshit. I wasn't me, man. I wasn't me at all.
What was Unc's name, bro?
Antonio Kenerly. He died off of damn, he was over there by the motherfucker by Good Sam. Like where Roger died at. Same street, start with an R. I can't think of it right now.
Ravenwood.
Yup, he died on Ravenwood.
Damn, that name sounds real familiar too, Antonio.
Yeah.
Now, are you related?
That was like my father figure.
Are you related to Dikey and Shaunta Kenerly? They live like well, Dikey, his name is Dwight Kenerly, and you got Shaunta Kenerly. They lived on Malvern. I know Sean. You know Sean. They're my boys, man. Yeah. They're my bros, man. They like only reason I asked you that is because they like right over there in that same area, Malvern.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right around that time frame too.
I mean, it's small, but it's big at the same time. Like you got your white and you got your black Kenerlys. You know what I'm saying? So like my grandfather, he took off one of the ends of his name. So all of his siblings, they did that type shit though.
Yeah, right. But y'all all started out with the 2 ends in your name.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Kind of like our news is called RNN, and it could either be real neighborhood news or what do you think if it wasn't neighborhood? What would the N stand for?
Yeah, I know. I already know.
Real what?
Yeah, I already know.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. So you know, like after your uncle passing, was this where you start to kind of see yourself slip to kind of start, you know, entertaining the streets more? Or like, when did you first jump off the porch originally?
Nah, and that's crazy, man, because like a lot of people, they'll tell you some real gangsters, horrific stories. It was crazy. Like I said, even though my household was dysfunctional, it was functional, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I used to get my ass whooped and all the whole nine. Like, you know, like I said, I wasn't starving, but I was still hungry. You know, but you know, like I said, I didn't really get that until later on in life, for real. You know, like I said, everything was normal to me. You know what I'm saying? Like drug dealers and all that stuff was normal. I was like it was like a magnet to me. I was very inspired by these dudes. Like I said, with the dunks and well, they dunks now, but you know what I'm saying, like the Chevys with the rims and golds and all that shit. Like that shit was nice for me. Like I didn't even work till I was like 18. I really didn't jump off the porch until like my cousin Andre Kenerly. He was selling on the band. Like it's a few names I could throw out there, but matter of fact, SMED, you probably remember Smitty.
Yeah.
He ended up dying up at Triangle Park a few years ago. Like, they said he on fire. But like all of us, we was all together. But you know what I'm saying? I wasn't on the band hustling or nothing. I was the one that just like played basketball type shit like that, football, whatever in the neighborhood. But my cousin always hustled like since he was like 10 or 11. That's the one who I said his mom was a smoker. But long story short, he gave me a bag of bud because I was broke. He gave me a bag of bud to sell at school. So I was selling nickel sacks up in Colonel White. You know what I'm saying? That money was something, but I was seeing him with the used jean outfits. You know what I'm saying? The British Nike shoes.
The BKs.
Nugget chains, Nugget rolls. They renting limos and shit like that to go up to Central State. Danny, I can name a lot of dudes from out of band. Big Dre. Danny's still alive too. His son Dust had got murked a few years ago.
Yeah.
But shit, yeah. I was always influenced by them, but I didn't jump off the porch until my cousin gave me some clothes. Real talk.
Okay.
He gave me some clothes to wash his clothes. I go in his pocket. He had some 501s. I go in his pocket, and it was a stack of money. I'm loyal. I call cuz, hey, you got some money in here. I go in his other pocket. There's some dope in there. Probably maybe 420s chopped up already, cracked. I ain't telling that part. I hit the band on the late night. I didn't know like they was like $80 worth of shit. So I sold that shit for like $20 and I was happy.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was so happy.
And so with the Fiends, boy. The Fiends happy as hell they ran to you that day.
I was actually scared. Like I've been in dope spots, weed spots, because my mom smoked weed since she was 13. So I've been in spots before. But like when I went in this spot to serve this dude the first time, he didn't have no lights on. So I didn't know if he was gonna shank me or whatever. So
yeah.
I'm shaking inside for real, but I'm trying to play tough. You know what I'm saying? But I showed him that shit and he was like, what you want for? I'm like, 20. I already knew I was already getting my head busted because his eyes grew like motherfucking $half bills. You feel me? Like, shit, Rusty gave me that $20.
Right.
But he gave me that 20, man, and shit. For me, and I was like, cuz, whatever you need me to do. I just started going to the spot and we was gambling, like playing Madden and shit. So I started getting on that because they was betting on me and shit. But yeah, I started seeing that money coming in through there, man. And I didn't even jump off the porch until like for real, like getting into it or with some heavyweight until I was like 23 or something, man.
Damn, man. So
yeah, I sold a little blood. That wasn't nothing though.
Right. So I mean, with the book title "Escaping the Allure of the Game," I mean, does that come from like a real place? You know what I mean? Like the way you really felt about the hustling and the lifestyle.
Oh yeah, that's my first book. I actually wrote that book while I was incarcerated. But yeah, Allure is anything that you again like inspired from that you just you don't have no control over. Like you really want something. It could be a girl, it could be a job, whatever. Like you just feel like you just have to have it. Escaping the Allure of the Game, that whole concept came from basically what I'm trying to tell you now is basically like you see the money, you got clothes, you got the women, you got the popularity, everything that you wanted. You know what I'm saying? And that's what keeping you going. That's what keeping you want that more money. You want more cars. You want more jewelry. You want to party more. You want to go hit the clubs and buy ace of spades and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's a challenge to get out of that shit. It's a challenge to say, I can go get money legally. It's a challenge. It's hard to do it, to be honest, especially if that's all you know.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people be trying to look down on people when you tell them, well, maybe they can go get a job. Sometimes this is all they know. Their mama was a smoker. Their daddy was a smoker. They grew up in poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like they went to school, flunked out, or got their GED, whatever the case may be. So especially coming up in the 90s, early 2000s, you a felon, you ain't getting no job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you don't get some bullshit job and you know you can go make $300-400 real quick. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna choose? Like I said, sometimes it's what these guys know. So that's what got me to writing the book, and a little bit of my own true life story is in there.
So I mean, like you're doing 4 years. Was that two different sentences or just one sentence?
Two different sentences.
Okay, so like, what were the roles?
Yeah. Is that a quick?
Yeah. I was about to say like what were the roles leading up to you being incarcerated? The first time.
The first case I caught the first case by stupidity. I had some white guys come and pick me up from Kentucky, and my cousin was with me as well. One of my little cousins. He's no longer here. He's in Belvin bro. But he was from like 5 Oaks area. They called him Red. But he wanted to do too many. These white boys came up to pick me up to take me down to Kentucky, and cuz just got out of jail out in Troy, and I was just trying to get him back on his feet. So I always took powder down there. He had hard, you know what I'm saying? But he wanted to smoke weed. I don't smoke like that. So I ain't really smoked in years. But honestly, he went to go on Fairview, go get some weed. So we noticed like the police was following us and shit. We in a hoopty with two white boys, you know what I'm saying? Like one white boy driving, one white boy in the back with cuz, and I'm in the passenger side. But dude had a loud muffler, and they swooped on us at Marathon on Main Street. You know
Man, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, they swooped on us. So I had my dumb butt, like I said, dumb. I had one of them little scales that I got from AMPM, little $10, $20 scales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had the scale in my back pocket because I just got done weighing up the powder. You know what I'm saying? So my cousin hit me he threw that shit up under the seat. You know what I'm saying? But he threw up under the seat. My shit was already tucked away with one of the dudes. You know what I'm saying? That was one of my rules. You gonna wrap that shit, but I had the scale. Mm-hmm. So when they pulled me over, they pulled us all over and patted me down, I had the scale. So they put everything on me. So even though I had kids and shit, I was in the county, and cuz like, man, I'll take it. You know, he already had a case. I'm like, man, you know what? Fuck it. Let's see if I can get off with it. So I went on ahead, took it, got charged with possession. And did my first year and shit at Madison Correctional. I got kicked out of motherfucking Montgomery pre-release.
So wait.
To Madison.
So during the time that like you were charged with it, I mean, like what kind of things were your lawyer saying to you? I mean, like did you sign a deal in order to get that 2 years, or for me, or did you go? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like against
I got a year. So I had an F3, an F1, and an F5. So anybody listen, they know that 1 year was a win.
Right.
The F5 was for the scale. Then like I had some small shit like I want to say like an ounce of powder and like a half ounce of hard. Mm-hmm. So I was in there for like maybe about 2 weeks until I bonded out. Mm-hmm. And the whole time the lawyer was telling me some bullshit like, man, you might get like 5 years, and I'm a first time fella. So I'm begging like, hey, send me to a camp, man. Like, damn, you know, send me to a camp. Let me get probation, something. They're like, nah, that shit ain't gonna happen. And I know because I had the two white guys in the car with me. You know what I'm saying? And they from Kentucky. They was gonna bust me regardless, you know. So when I went back, I was ready to go ahead and lay it down. And all my friends were telling me, God, you turn yourself in. Like I turned myself in on Halloween. I want to say this was like 2006, something like that.
So I was looking at something that like you posted, kind of recent. And here it goes. I was thinking about the injustice in this country. For those that don't know, I've been to prison twice on drug charges, once in Ohio and the other time in Kentucky. In both cases, I was never once read my rights. So like,
never.
So that's crazy to think that like your lawyer couldn't get you, especially on a first time offense, and they violate your Miranda rights. I mean, like, what can you speak towards, you know what I'm saying, like more towards that point of, you know, even though you catch me doing something, you still got to legally go about your job. You know what I mean? Like, so what can you speak to the injustice in this country?
Man, it's wild because, and people, even our own people, they'll look at me like, man, well, he light skinned. That shit don't matter. That shit don't matter to that man with that badge and that gun. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't mean shit. Yeah. And it's wild because both times I never was read my rights. With the one in Ohio, they was quick. After he found that scale, he was quick to shove me in the back of the police car. And I was a big dude, you know what I'm saying? Like I was even bigger. I had braids and shit like that then. I don't even know if you could see my county picture, but like my hair was like bone crusher type shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I can't say I ain't trying to sugarcoat the shit or defend them, but they probably try to rush me to get me downtown, you know what I'm saying? Because I was big or something at the time, or they might have felt intimidated or whatnot. But still, at the end of the day, far as with a lot of us black men, man, that right there, I said it to my lawyer, and that shit like went in one ear, not the other. Like I already knew, like I ain't no dummy. Like I was on honor roll all the way up to my sophomore year until I started chasing girls and selling weed.
Right.
But so I was like, and I went to school. You know what I'm saying? I got my bachelor's degree in the whole nine.
Right.
But so I've never been no dummy. I told him like, man, they didn't read my Miranda rights. Man, he ain't give a fuck about that shit. He was like, man, you better take this year and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? You try to preach that shit, they might try to come back and hit you over the head.
Right.
So it was more of a threat to me to take that shit and shut the fuck up. But yeah, as far as that goes on all the time. All the time. My brother who ain't never did nothing, he was driving to Florida with his homeboy from here, from Dayton. Matter of fact, Derek Moss, who played running back for Dunbar. You know what I'm saying? They got his shoes up in there. But they was just driving down to Florida. He got swooped down just because he had AKA on the license plate. Derek White's car.
Wow.
Never read him his Miranda rights, did his fingerprint, so now he in the system and never did shit in his life. So this shit happens every day. This shit happens every day, man. And it ain't fair, but we got to start voting for people that's going to really defend us, who know us and will listen to us, instead of listening to us just to get the motherfucking seat and then turn their back as soon as they get that motherfucking name.
Vote for Angelina Jackson. This is not an ad. We really rock with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is running for judge, comment please, and she comes from similar backgrounds as us, and she be outside, and you literally somebody that, you know what I'm saying, she understands or is more sympathetic to our situation than someone who has no recollection of it. But we can't get out the subject.
Judge, man.
Yeah. So we can't get out the subject too quick because you was in a situation that we were talking about on our snitch episode, right? So he was in the car, right? And, you know, they all threw their shit underneath the seat, right? And then they come and they get everybody. In that situation, let's say if somebody in the car wasn't engaging in any of that activity, right? Let's say you were just getting a ride and everybody else in the car dirty but you. Is that person snitching if he says, like, man, I ain't know none of that shit was in the car. That ain't my gun. That ain't my dope.
He ain't part of the game, bro. He ain't part of the game. That's just like, I ain't gonna say it's nothing wrong. So I'm different now. Like I haven't touched no drugs in 15
minutes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's different. Minutes. Like you can go rob a drug dealer. A drug dealer ain't gonna call the police.
Right.
He gonna get you back because that's street shit. But if I break into this man that work at motherfucking Payless and he work at a regular 9 to 5. Ain't nothing wrong with that man calling the police saying, hey man, they broke in here and stole my kid's shoes or whatever the fuck it was. That's not fucking snitching. That's that he's not, he don't have nothing to do with it.
Right, Sean, but let me ask you this, and this is the hill that we got to get over with this snitching, because the snitch conversation has all type of legs and wings that can go a lot of different places. That's not snitching, but what do you call it when you report a crime? Even when you're not in the streets, you see a crime and you report it.
That shit snitching or telling
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And that's the only thing. It's like, well, damn, okay, it's not snitching, but what do we call it? And anything that it's called, the average black man is uncomfortable with doing it. Like, somebody won't even say, like, man, I reported a crime. That's kind of like a little shameful, though.
Man, I called the police because it was an apartment on fire. You feel me? I snitched on the fire, Smith.
Nah, I mean, we talking about actually reporting a crime and like going to court and standing.
Now, what if I would have seen him, like, what if I would have seen an arsonist doing it?
Bro. And you said, this guy, I know exactly who it was. It was SMED. He set this house on fire, man. This shit's crazy. And you're not in the dope game. But he ain't a part of the game though.
Yeah.
He just seen a crime take place and he's reporting it.
But now, what if a dope dealer, you feel me, is walking down the street and he sees somebody doing something worse than what he doing? Is he not allowed to report a crime? If he see him like
if he see an old lady somebody getting raped,
yeah,
hell yeah. I mean,
he not allowed to come on, bro. Like that, come on. Where do we draw the line?
That's still snitching, bro.
Where do we draw the line, though?
Sean said it's still snitching.
It's still snitching because he in the street shit. Like, a crime is a crime. You know what I'm saying? Because if a motherfucker, that same old lady walk past that spot and seeing motherfuckers coming in and out, he gonna call her a snitch too.
So what? So if you were still in the streets and you saw somebody doing child trafficking, would you call the police if you were still in the streets?
Man, that's tough, man, because I got kids, man.
I mean, a child molester, there's no such thing as snitching on a child molester.
Yeah, you know what?
There we go. All right.
Bro.
There we go. See, that's all I want. You feel me?
You see somebody kidnap a child, I'm giving the license plate number, all of that shit to try to protect that child's life, man. Yeah. And it's not snitching. I'm like, no, I stopped a child molester from fucking child molesting a child or kidnapping somebody, but
there we go.
Like,
there we go. Thank you. At least we all agree for that one.
Right.
As a community, let's all agree.
Yeah.
But let's all agree as a community.
But the child molester, when he gets to jail, he gonna be like, Sean. He gonna say, Sean snitched on me. He showed and we ain't gonna give a damn. We like, that's right.
So like, what's the difference in the culture, you know what I'm saying, outside when it comes to snitching compared to when you locked in and snitches are there? I mean, like, they're going to be snitches in prison, you know what I mean? So what is that like as a dynamic of when you come across a snitch in there compared to a snitch on the street?
We put them on the door before they even come down there. I mean, most of the time, some of the guards will tell you such and such coming in. Mm-hmm. And I even think I watched when you had even mentioned, like, we watch the news. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of know, like, who's coming to where. You feel me? So, especially in the county, but you talking about prison in itself, you still getting them up out of there. Mm-hmm. You still getting them up out of there. And what's so crazy, when I was in prison, like I said, you will have different cities would tell you about another city snitch. You know what I'm saying? So all the Dayton dudes stuck together. All the Natty dudes stick together. All the Cleveland dudes stick together. Toledo, Lima, all them dudes up north stick together. Yeah. But they'll tell you, hey, such and such be telling. I don't give a fuck if he did something on the compound. Like, if he telling that niggas' boxes is getting hit, by the time he about to get ready to come to your door with his bag, y'all either gonna get him, like, steal his shit, but you already know. So yeah, you treated them like the streets. So wait. If I am like a dude who done did whatever crime I did, I'm in prison now. I'm just trying to press my rack. I'm going to I'm taking my classes. I'm going to you know what I'm saying, I'm going to whatever religious ceremonies I'm doing. Like, when I come home, I got a whole new life ahead of me that ain't got crime in it. And I see somebody hit my cellie's box, and my cellie come in there and say, hey, who was in our, you know what I'm saying, like, who was in our spot? Nah, that's different. You're looking out for your cellie.
Okay.
Yeah, you looking out for your cellie. Now, if you see Joe Smo from across the way steal somebody else's shoes, you know what I'm saying? Dude can run up on you and say, nigga, you tell him. Excuse me, I don't mean to say nigga.
No, you good.
You good, we speak freely.
That's, you just keeping it real, what the real conversation would be.
Right. Yeah, he could definitely do that.
Right. So, like, what's one of the crazy experiences that like you had while you was locked up?
I can tell you a positive one. You want to hear a positive one?
I was going to that one last to close out, but you're doing good.
When I was in Kentucky, I was actually incarcerated in. So their classifications is different from Ohio. This is no knock on Kentucky, everybody. I got love for Kentucky, but this is why Ohio prisons are worse than Kentucky prisons, because the classification system is a whole lot different. So if you're a non-violent felon, you can work on the side of the highway somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They'd take you to Long John Silver, all types of shit. You get to order Pizza Hut, and all types of shit. You know, they give you cigarettes to smoke, the whole 9 yards. And in Ohio, that shit ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? You're a non-violent felon, you're gonna be behind a big ass fence and wires and all types of shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
And Kentucky was kind of loved. Like we was at a. I mean, you do have camps in Ohio. You do have camps, but it still ain't gonna be that sweet.
Yeah.
But see, out there, it's like you got a Class D all the way on up. So I was like at a Class C facility, and my son had came in. My fault, y'all.
Oh, nice.
But
Young King, what's up with it,
but
bro?
yeah, while I was writing Escaping the Lord of the Game, I was in there so long. I used to watch 106 in Park and write my shit. So one day I had my headphones on, listening to my Walkman, that was CD player, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm listening to music plus watching music. You feel me? And one of the white guys was like, "Man, you ain't about to do that." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? So, you know what I'm saying? We had a little scuffle. Long story short, after the scuffle, maybe 2-3 days later, he came up to me like, "Man, what is you doing anyway? You always writing." And I'm like, "Man, I'm writing a book." Same thing I did like in Ohio, but this was a white guy. I'm talking about hillbilly. He used to chew dick, all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Spit that type of shit.
Keep spitting that.
Yeah,
What was he talking about? You ain't about to do that. What
Well,
was
they
the
didn't want me
point?
to watch, man. His actual words. This is when Nicki Minaj first came out for real, and you know, he was like, "Why do y'all like that shit?" You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have no understanding why I like hips and ass titties. You know what I'm saying? But we ended up getting cool. So, but he didn't want me to watch BET, man. They wanted to watch me on the weekend, like the top 25 country shit come on.
He like girls he like girls that are built like scarecrows,
like pencils.
But
you know what I'm saying, like olive oil. You feel me?
Yeah,
like they like Taylor Swift. Like, he like, oh,
hell no, you gonna hog the motherfucking TV
Yeah,
while listening to a Walkman too?
Oh,
so
that was the bicker. That was
not
the
no
bicker. Right.
And he was a big dude too. As soon as I seen him jump off the bunk, we had like orange flip flops, shower shoes.
Yep.
As soon as he jumped off the bunk, I heard them motherfuckers smack the floor. I looked at my homeboy. He was from Louisville. His name is May. He a rapper. His name is Young May Bishop. He from Louisville.
Yeah,
but he was like, "You already know what you got to do."
Yep.
I'm like, dang, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So we ended up getting into it. You know, we threw them things and whatnot. But yeah, dude ended up finding interest in my book though. But he read that shit, man, and like I said, if you read Escaping Lord of the Game, it's straight urban, and this dude is the total opposite of urban.
Yeah.
And he told me before I left, like, "Man, ain't no way you should be in here." It was like, "Man, you too talented to be in here." It was like, "Man, I want to see you in here no more." And we was cool.
Yeah.
Real talk. So, you know, I took that as a positive experience. But after that shit, you know, we had understanding. Saturdays, you can listen to your top 25, but Monday through Friday, I'm watching 106 in Park, bro.
Man, by the way, you guys, I want to say what's up to Sheiks for breakfast, Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch. If you ever injured, attorney Michael Wright. The shoparea.com is like the baby Amazon. And when you want to get lit a little bit, get you some good old Kiara wine. T-shirt Kings, go for your mouth camera Kings, and sell stocks not dope every Sunday. You're not cool if you don't go to that school. What school? It's Horizon Science Academy, Dayton High School, man. So make sure that y'all tap in with Horizon Science Academy, man. Right now we got Shaunta Kenerly up in here, and he is telling us his life story. Right now we like right in the middle. Is this your second prison sentence, bro?
Yes, sir.
This is your second prison sentence, and had you already written your first book by now, or no? This is the first book.
I'm actually still writing the first book.
So we're writing the first book while he's locked up, and he's telling us that all the things that he had been through. Right now, he's in prison, and he ended up getting into a big fight with a big dude that was locked up. But after the fight, the guy that was in Kentucky, they ended up being kind of cool. And before he got out, he told Sean that he was too smart to be in prison, and that kind of sparked a fire in you. So go ahead, bro.
Yep. And to add to that, I started writing Escaping actually when I was in Ohio. That's why I was telling y'all the story with dude when I was writing the sex stories.
Yeah.
But I started writing that, and I was mailing my books. Like, I had it to a science to only mail like 6 pages at a time to my sister or my cousin or whatnot. So when I got out, a lot of that shit was missing. So I still had the story in my head. So when I got to Kentucky, I continued. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, there we go.
So I had read that like the judge's husband had did like a similar crime to you or something like that.
Oh man, you have done your research, man. So anybody in Kentucky, I'm gonna just say her last name is Mays. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say because the feds will come. But her husband actually had a Fed case. My people in Kentucky know exactly what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But they used to throw parties, man. Kentucky is so country still, bro. But they used to throw parties with the prosecutor, your attorney. Like when I say like, when I was about 6 months in on my time, and my attorney, I told her I'd give her $10,000 if she give that to the judge to lower my sentence to 7, because I was looking at 20 years off top.
Damn.
But back to what you asked me, her husband and her used to get high on powder. So I used to serve this dude, but she's sentencing people.
Wow.
So when I say party, they used to party.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Wow.
So she looked me in my eye and one day told me the next time she see me in her great state of Kentucky court, forget what your lawyer and the prosecutor talking about. I'm giving you 20 off top. Cause see, I had what they call a PFO. It's a persistent felony offender. So that's an automatic 10. So that's 10 years plus your time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I only had one felony in Ohio on a possession charge. So it's crazy. Like I said, they try to stack this shit up against you. You know what I'm saying? But what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. But she tried to hit me with that, and of course I was out of state. And then my same cousin I was telling y'all who was on the band, he was down there in Kentucky as well. We both got the same middle and last name. So he was on a run for Miamisburg for some bullshit he did because he was out there getting some money. So he was in Kentucky too. Yeah. So as soon as I came in there, we already had a name. It was so many Dayton cats down there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got Cincinnati guys in like Portsmouth. You know what I'm saying? Right across the bridge too, and like Covington and shit like that. Mm-hmm. But we was like down in Lexington. Like right now, some Detroit cats, but we was down in Lexington type area or whatnot. But as you know, man, anywhere you go in America, bro, you say you from Dayton, man, we got a bad look, but if you a street nigga, they salute you.
Cody Latimer just now checked in. What's up with you, King? He wants me to take a point from Peanut.
For what reason?
I don't know. He just enjoys taking points from you.
I seen him on the show talking. He's trying to give you a point.
You know why? Because he's a smart champion, man, and he wants to take points from you just because he's a good dude. He knows the game. Man, shout out to Kevin Easley too, man, for putting this thing together, man. He's been doing pretty good with interviews though lately, man.
Heck yeah, bro.
It's about time you did something right, man.
All right, that's hard. That's hard.
I want to make sure he heard me disrespecting. It's about time you did something right, Ease. This the first, man, Sean, you the first thing Ease done did right.
Oh,
nah, he did. He brought eyes on. He did bring eyes on.
For sure. So at the time like you locked up, you ended up writing 6 books while you was locked up?
Mount Sterling, Kentucky.
In Mount Sterling, Kentucky, yeah.
Yeah, that's DVH Hog just checked in with you.
Oh yeah, that's
Sean.
big dog status.
DV Hog.
What's up, bro?
Yes, sir. What's up with you, bro? Love you, bro.
Man, I ain't gotta lie at nothing. It's all in paperwork.
Yeah.
Right. For sure. So like you wrote 6 books while you was locked up. One of them being Allure the Game, and another one being Treasure, right? So, but out of those 6 that you wrote while you was locked up, which one would you have to say is your favorite, including your baby, which is, you know what I'm saying, Allure the Game? What one would you say is like your favorite outside of that classic?
I would say my favorite now will be Bricks, my newest one.
Bricks, yeah. Man, that trailer
and
hard.
I say that's because I came a long way far as I got in my dictionary. Mm-hmm. I studied and learned the game a lot better as a businessman. Mm-hmm. I got a little bit better with, just like I said, some vocabulary and how things go. You know, like if you was a rapper or just like SMED, you know what I'm saying? I remember you was on 3rd Street, bro. You done came a long way, you know what I'm saying? So if I can rewind, I would love to have the education I have now as far as writing and Escaping Lord of the Game would have been much better. But a lot of people, even to this day, they go off of that and say that's their favorite one.
Yeah.
And that was my first one, and I was wet behind the ears with that joint. So I was just writing, and I just put it out there. Actually, this was like a second edition. Kenya Baker actually edited this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's legendary. That's legendary handshake.
Man, shout out to Kenya Baker,
For sure.
man.
Yep. I actually had a blue cover of Downtown Dayton, like the Riverscape. It was trash, man. But like I said, I was fresh out. You know what I'm saying? I had a little buzz. Like everybody in prison, we skipped that part, but everybody in prison was passing it around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So by the time I got home, I was like, man, let me get this mug out. And I ended up doing my very first book sign. I didn't know nothing about nothing. So I just Googled a picture of Dayton and put Downtown Riverscape on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And ended up getting having a book signing with Jesse Remix Patterson. It was on 3rd across from the library, 3rd in St. Clair, I believe. And we filled that joint out. Illy came out, man. I'm talking family. It was like his place is actually the T spot now. The last time I was in Dayton. Like KD and them be doing their show there.
Not Third Perk.
Third Perk, yeah.
Third Perk. Okay,
So
shout out to my girl Shell Boo.
Like 50 people, right?
I'm there like twice a week.
So in my line's about 50 people max, right?
Yeah.
75 pushing.
Yeah.
Right.
I had about like 200 something people in that joint.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the city came out and showed me so much love. And I'm talking about, before that book signing, I was grinding like in West Town because like I told y'all, my mama was up there. My brother was selling jewelry at Tri-State Jewelers.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in West Town every day. Some days was terrible. So that's why I be trying to tell people about the grind. And I had my son 11 now. So this was like 2010 when I got home.
Yeah.
So I'm out there just trying to get diaper money. And that's what I was normally coming home with. $20, $30 to put some diaper money in the house.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I'm out there from sun up, sundown, only sold 3 books. But then those 3 books end up turning to like 15 books in one day. So now I'm coming home with like $150.
Yeah.
And then I started touching people like, I remember this kid, he used to work in Shoe Trend with Pac-Man. Y'all know the old rapper Pac-Man.
Yep. Yeah.
He used to work in Shoe Trend with Pac-Man. He was like 16 and was like, man, I never read nothing in my life, but that Escaping Lord of the Game touched me, bro. I never read, that's the only book I ever read. Shit like that.
Wow.
When people be like, man, I just want to get that one person, shit like that would make me do what I do.
Right.
So I write real life shit, but it's a story behind it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's meanings behind shit. Like, if you peep Gang, Peanut, dude was praying just about his family the whole time.
Yeah.
He like, God, just leave my family alone. Even though he in the streets and he a gutter nigga, but he was just like, he was praying. He was talking to God. And that's another thing. Like, people be turning their heads on people that's in the streets, or you stripping or whatever.
Yeah,
or I
like,
don't go to church every Sunday. That don't mean that you're not a Christian.
Yeah, like it was one portion in there that, like, to me, it stood out because it's like they on their way to go do, you know what I'm saying, some crime, but before they go in, he manifested looking out the window. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally taking that time to, like, center himself before, like, they go do a drill. Like, to me, this is, I understand what you're saying of you wish you would have done a certain way, but for the people that you got to reach, you got to speak it a certain way. You know what I mean? Yeah, you could have did Lyrical Miracle in here, and then it wouldn't have been digestible to the people that, like, you gave it to. Because, I mean, for you to, 12,000 units?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's probably more than that now, but
yeah, of course. But 12,000 units is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, and then, I mean, what I thought was legendary also was, like, of course you got the Amazon, you got the Barnes and Nobles, but you still kept a hood. You had it at 14K. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah, he'll testify. I had that on Omega.
Yeah.
I had it I had it at the Shoe Trend.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I'm trying to think. I had it where else, man? Anywhere. I was just grinding, bro. Like selling out the trunk of my car. And you know, I had the twins washing cars up in West Town getting money, and I'm sitting there in the sun like, damn, I wish I had some of that money. Like, you know what I'm saying? But us as a people, and I'm gonna speak on it, we don't like to read. We don't like stuff that takes time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As a majority. So it was hard to get some of them people. But once you, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but once you read the first chapter, bro, you in.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
That's what all my books, especially if you from Ohio area, I always write about my hometown. And I get that from other authors. They like, bro, you would sell much more in books if you just wrote about like New York, LA, shit like that. Nah, bro, I ain't never stepped foot in them towns. I could tell you about anything in Dayton, from the east side, the west side, or whatever. Even in the good, I had a spot out in Centerville. You know what I'm saying? So, I can only write stuff that's relatable. Yeah. For my people, for anybody that's going through anything, like.
Yeah, because like one part to me was, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I had hit that highway before, right? But like when you said in the part, you was like, I don't feel comfortable until I see the, you know what I'm saying? You know, like the outline of the city. I was like, bruh. like a person they ain't gonna understand that. Like, you do not feel comfortable till you like, okay, boom. Now I know I can bust these type of moves. I know the alleys. I know everything around everything. Yep. And the way he captured that in the book to me was dope. Like, you feel me? It was like nostalgia alert. Like, cause I mean, like, even if you ain't doing nothing illegal, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could be on a flight or something like that, and then I'd have been everywhere, but something about Dayton is just home, bro. It's just like that exhale feeling of being home, bro. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, that's a fact. And illegally or legally, like, man, when I drive up now, and I just like come up. As soon as I cross the bridge and I see that Ohio sign, "Welcome to Ohio," it says something like anything can happen here or whatever. Everything happens here or something. Yeah. As soon as I see that sign, man, I feel good, because at the end of the day, I have a flat tire. I got a cousin or somebody gonna come get me. Right. You know what I'm saying? If I go to the jails or anything, I'm cool in Ohio. Right. West Virginia, Kentucky, I don't want to see no parts of that. Yeah. I'd rather be right at home.
I do want to shout out our people on YouTube. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe. You watching on YouTube, please subscribe. Michaela said, aloha, just got here. And who we talking about? I think E's been working everywhere. And then Monty Cruz just now checked in with you, bro.
Oh, word.
Yep. He said, what's up, fellas? And then he said that this was a great podcast, man. You guys make sure that y'all subscribe, bro. Man. YouTube and
one day
Facebook.
I'm going to have to come up there live. I appreciate y'all doing the Zoom for me, though.
Man, bro, you know what? This is by far the best Zoom that we have ever done, bro. Like the crispiness of it, no chop. No, nothing. Now, at the beginning, we was a little bit rocky trying to get the audio together, but once we got it, man, everything been rolling good. So I'm glad that we did Zoom, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the legendary Zoom interview, man. Yeah. You know? So, for sure. So, and you zooming in from what? You in Carolina right now, bro?
Yeah, I'm in Charlotte.
You in Charlotte? Yeah, Charlotte.
And it's a lot of dating people down here, too.
It is a lot of dating people in Charlotte, bro. Yeah. Yep, man. One of, like, my older brother, Bobby Jeter, is down there, and my big bro, Kevin Foster, man. Both of them are in Charlotte right now, man. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Word. So,
it's beautiful down here. And actually, another little quick story. The reason why I even moved to Charlotte, me and Chaos, CC Server, he had a book out. Me, Chaos.
Yeah, like the 3Ks.
My homeboy, Adante Cherry. Springfield, Ohio. Mm-hmm. They call me Street Royalty 937. We had a tour called the Three Kings Tour.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we came down to Charlotte on CIAA weekend. When I say we had a ball, man.
Yeah.
Y'all know how Chaos play. Mm-hmm. So we came in, man, we had so much fun. I'm talking about, we got 3 937 dudes coming down here, and we made money, man. Like, off of books. Like, these dudes, I mean, I'm talking about CIAA. Have you ever been down here?
Oh, bro? Oh, yeah. I was down there the weekend that wasn't a car got shot up.
Women, rappers, whatever.
Yeah.
People came to books.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, shout out to Chaos, too, man. We couldn't, both of them boys was hot as firecrackers at that time, but yeah.
Free C Server, man, for sure.
Hell yeah.
For sure. So I also saw that, like you was in your coaching bag too, right? So 2012 Youth National Champions?
Yeah, with Trotwood. Yeah, man, I love football to death. Yeah, we won a national championship down in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Battle Rocky Top. We was runners ups as well too. Mm-hmm. I think that was like the year before.
Yeah, I watched the speech and the coach was kind of he was comforting the people who lost to y'all, and he was saying, man, listen, we got that trophy last year, you feel me? So I know how that feel, you know what I'm saying? So you feel me? Like, he encouraging the other team, the one over there crying. Like, to me, it was legendary. Like, I'm saying, whoever that coach was.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, for sure. So
Robin Mobley just checked in. She said she's watching. She remember that tour. Yeah. You know Jay Vett.
Yeah, I know Robin.
Yeah.
Said yes, your content and production is 100. Shout out CC Server, man.
For
Love
sure.
you, Chaos.
Yeah.
So Bad Waters on HBO, man. Let's talk about it.
So I did that. So I met a girl out of Cali. Her name was Aja Buck. This is after I had my first contract with another publishing company.
Mm-hmm.
But Aja was the one who I told you about earlier, who had asked me if I can show that I will sign you if you could sell like 3,000 books by the weekend. Like I said, okay, let's get it done. Like I said, I was more, but she challenged me to do it far as via Kindle, like ebooks.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was a hustler, straight hand to hand, meeting the people, shaking hands and hugging and pictures and stuff like that. So, but again, as soon as I dropped that red cover, my city stood up, man. Like I ain't gonna just say Dayton, but man, those books I sold that and got that contract.
Mm-hmm.
So she had turned me on to this lady that writes for a lot of companies. So I done did ghostwriting for a lot of big names out there. But this lady was tied in with an HBO producer. And they needed a scene, a prison break scene. I thought of that shit every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was easy. So I wrote a scene about these three guys, you know what I'm saying? They was working in the kitchen and they was loading the trucks type shit. And, you know, just wrote a little escaping scene for that.
Word. So
Man, that's sweet.
So also was dope, you know. So I was gonna bring up the Three Kings also, but you know, like you've also worked with Coach Chronic, Jason DBKS, DeMarco, and others. What can you say about those, you know, those legendary people as well?
Man, we ain't got all night, but let me say about my little brother, man, Jason. He a little big brother to me because he got the hustle of a fucking giant.
Say that.
But Jason, anytime I needed dude, man, he came. I'm talking. This is when Jason first was wearing the ski mask, like the Jason mask.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I did a book signing at Lights and Sirens. I was always doing performing because I work hand in hand. I'm a hustler, so if I can't get your attention off of the book, I'm gonna bring the music to you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because most of my audience, I wrote for street niggas, but most of my audience was women. So I had to switch it up, and that's another thing a lot of people don't understand. I was going down to the A to go to hair shows. I was the only
that's smart
dude that like women most of the time in that joint.
That's
so me being a straight guy with women,
that's capitalist right there.
Yeah,
I'm selling. But Jason, man, he was always down for a brother. Like he would always look out. He would promote his shit. You know what I'm saying? Help promote me. Man, salute to Jason. He was actually when I started doing a movie with Mousy and Jason and a few others. Terry the Voice.
Yeah.
Nike.
Shout to Nike, man. The legendary Nike, man.
Yeah, my homeboy MG Mark. He used to own Santana's downtown.
Yeah.
Shit. I started doing the movie. I ended up coming down here and we just ceased production, to be honest with you on that. Oh, and Boz. I'm trying to think of some other names in there. Damn. But yeah, that's just a few names. Yeah, so that's Jason. DeMarco, same thing, man. DeMarco got a hustle hand that's out of this world as well.
For sure.
DeMarco always looked out too. Like if I was doing a show, he'll come through. You know what I'm saying? And he'll drop some jewels for you. Mm-hmm. When he started his cargo shit, he dropped some jewels with me. Like, bro, this is how you can do it, whatever.
Yeah. Me
and Coach, we go way back, bro. Like since like kids, he was in the circle and shit. Like he used to come down to the circle. Like he went to Fairport and shit. And you know what I'm saying? He always was in the hood, like the Otterburn area. He grew up off of Kings Highway. You know what I'm saying? Like on the other side by Gettysburg Elementary School. Used to be an elementary school on Gettysburg. By the cleaners, across the street from the cleaners.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he grew up right there. So we always was together. You know what I'm saying? So he was always one of them ones too. And I always hustle as well. Who was it you named?
That was DeMarco, Jason, and Coach Chronic, bro. You know what I'm saying? You knocked it out the park. Yeah. You knocked it out of the park. What can you say to like the next generation on building your brand and starting your own and finding these partnerships along the way?
I would say, hey, believe in yourself, man. Don't give up on yourself. I mean, even times I gonna fall down on that as well because I'm a big person of. I have people call me like, man, on page 4, man, you were supposed to put 2 TWO, but it's supposed to be 2 TO.
Yeah.
And that'd kill me. Like, damn, I might have to call the editor. You know what I'm saying? But I be so down on myself. You know what I'm saying? So push yourself. Like, be your biggest cheerleader. You know what I'm saying? Even when you think that you ain't making no money, because it was times where I done made 10 bands off of books. And like, again, it was days when I was out there and only made $20 off of books.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Keep pushing yourself, because you never know who gonna see that book, man. You don't ever know who's gonna read it. I mean, anything that you do, you know what I'm saying? Just keep pushing yourself. Be your biggest cheerleader. Your girls might go. Your dudes might go. Some people don't even believe. Like I said, my mama's my number one support. One of my number one supporters.
Right.
But she never read one of my books because I don't want her to, because I talk some nasty shit.
Man, listen here, boy. Look. I can see how there was a hit in the box, okay? Like, no pun intended, because I'm like, listen, I like how you would just put, like, in one scene, you like the SUV, where you don't even describe that at all. But a sex scene, you going to the water, dripping down to this and licking all between. I said,
I'm a Virgo, so I'm very intimate. You know what I'm saying? So
that's evident. It's evident.
Women, you gotta understand women. I was raised around a lot of women. So again, points to my mom. My mom being a woman that was raped before. So when you read Treasure in that book get raped, you know what I'm saying, by her husband and his cousin.
Damn.
And that shit that doesn't happen. My girl that I'm with now, she got gang raped. You know what I'm saying, on Prescott. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Some of them dudes still around too, so I ain't gonna mention no names, but yeah, she got gang raped by some dudes. Like when they, Smith, I know you remember, like Dayton was never really hard on the gang banging, but you would see like, this was around the time my homeboy Derek Tyson had got shot in the head by some dude that was supposed to be a blood on Prescott. This was like 95, 96.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But dudes was gang banging or whatever then, but she ended up getting gang raped. So I wrote that in my book, I Don't Trust You, where her sister, you know what I'm saying, kind of set her up to be raped. You know what I'm saying? And like, so I write, like I said, again, I write a lot of real life stuff. So a lot of things I don't want my mom to read, but she still, like, when her friends read that joint, they be like, hey, your son nasty. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm very intimate. I'm very detailed. That's what I'm saying. Being observant, I get to pick up a lot of that. But yeah, and then again, I get in my zone. I listen to some Chris Brown, some Keith Sweat, R. Kelly, Jodeci, and I'm going.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, I'm thinking of that one scene with the two girls, and you know what I'm saying, like the climatic scene where like you come inside there and. You feel me? I'm not giving away too much. You feel me? In a bathroom full of steam.
You can give away, man. That book man. That book is a legend in itself.
So classic, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of people done read that.
All right. So Sven, put you on sauce, right? So he comes inside there after, you know what I'm saying, like he literally had a threesome with these chicks or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? It was popping, everything he wanted. He leave out of there, you know what I'm saying? He get a phone call telling him that these chicks are there to set him up and kill him. So while they just got done, bro, he go back inside of there and, you know what I'm saying, like the restroom, steam everywhere going on. He go inside there looking for them. They get the drop on him, bro. That was so deep, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, like multi-layer, because I'm thinking like he went from writing out a perfectly highly intelligible sex scene to Nexus Danger, bro. It's like, yeah, bro. You a genius, bro. You a genius.
See, you didn't peep game though. He had went in her drawer and seen that she was friends with the girl that was stripping for him at the beginning of the book.
Okay.
So I picked up, while I was incarcerated, I picked up a lot of Triple Crown books. Okay. So Triple Crown used to be real big. She was based out of Columbus. So we used to get those books in there. So I was reading. That's the only thing that captured my mind at that time. You know, guys had Playboys, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But I started reading some of them, and I was like, shit, I could do this myself. You know what I'm saying? But the difference was I was also reading some Gresham books, some James Patterson books. So I like the suspense as well. Yes. So I threw like hood and suspense and erotic. Sex always gonna sell. I could write about anything about my city or the shit that I did. You know what I'm saying? Only thing, like, if I wrote right now, it'd be hard for me to write about fentanyl and shit because I ain't been in the game in so long. You feel me? So it wouldn't come off as realistic, but I could still write something close to that. But not, I wouldn't write about no shit I ain't never did or touched, or because it wouldn't come off as authentic as it's supposed to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But sex is easy.
I got a question for you, and this is something that I've always wondered, right? So when you see people writing these stories about like vampires and damn it, monsters and aliens and all of this, like kind of like scary, but kind of like weird, not weird shit, but just like shit like that, like vampires and this and that. Do you think that these people are like diving deep into that type of lifestyle and culture to be able to write these things, or is it just something that's just coming strictly out of their imagination and they don't know nothing about it?
I would say a little bit of both. But if you are, let's say like James Patterson, for example, we know he ain't got no bodies. You know, he'll be in prison right now. Right. But he write about that shit all the time. So you have to put your mind in that state of mind to write that shit. So you do have some dark thoughts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No matter, he might have got bullied when he was a kid and say, hey, I wish I would have chopped his hand off or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So you're gonna have those type of thoughts, period. Even like you were saying, the vampire shit. Some people just have wild imaginations. Mm-hmm. Like I said, my imagination been groomed since I was a kid, just Hot Wheels, G.I. Joes, and I would just play with them for hours. Mm-hmm. I don't write that type shit, but I could. Just like even with sci-fi.
Right.
I'm going to throw this out there. Carl Weber, y'all know who Carl Weber is?
No.
I've heard that name before.
Carl Weber, he has shows on BT, et cetera, et cetera. But Carl Weber, he owns Urban Books. That's the biggest black-owned publishing company in the world.
Okay.
He owns Urban Books. But he had asked me one day to write something like that, and I had asked one of my friends in Detroit to help me because she always wrote romance, gothic type stuff, and she's a sister from Detroit, inner city. Mm-hmm. She writes about vampires and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you never know who that person could be. And just like us like with rappers. You got rappers that ain't never stepped foot in the hood, but be rapping about hood shit. Yeah, because that's what they interested in. You know, that's what they got to set their mind to. So yes and no for that.
Yeah, yes and no. But you gotta get into that type of world.
You gotta get into it. Yeah,
like I'm telling you, bro. Like I love Star Trek, man. You know what I'm saying? I like aliens and other planets and Avatar. Like that's the type shit I love it. I love it a lot. But sometimes when I'm watching this, man, the detail and how they are going in these characters that they create, it almost be like, damn, man, these people know something that we don't know.
Yeah, drugs
to a certain extent, bro.
It's called drugs, man. It's called drugs, man.
They on mushrooms.
They on one of them.
Niggas, they in Area 51. They know some.
Yeah, when you writing a book, and it could be an autobiography or a fictional book, a lot of times you do research. Again, like I was just saying a second ago,
right.
If I was to write something with fentanyl, I had to do my research.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they do research when they writing that stuff. And then if you really go into detail, even with the vampire stuff and the witches, they really was killing people in Salem that was innocent women. You feel me? And they just made it into some more fictional type stuff who they believe that were witches. You know what I'm saying? And as far as religious goes, if you say anything that was black religion, they look at it as a bad thing, like voodoo and stuff like that. You go over to Haiti and Jamaica, those are the ministers, the scientists. When you start preaching on science and shit like that, they look at you like a weirdo. But you know what I'm saying? You know,
I wrote 3 movies. I wrote my first movie, Life Ain't Easy, that we shot a while ago. And then I wrote Life Ain't Easy 2. And I wrote another movie called A Taste of Brandy. And I thought all of them was pretty solid, man. I don't know why I stopped writing so much. I stopped writing when I got my store. Because it was kind of like, it took me away. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of like doing my thing and busy and shit. But man, I love to write too, bro. And once you get in it and you get in a groove, and you can just start, man, just pouring your heart into something, you know, like all of my shit is all like made up shit, but it was still cool.
Yeah, made up, fans listening.
Oh yeah.
It's all made up, guys.
God is the police for sure. I gotta find out about this nigga.
Yeah, fans. Don't be
calling
listening
the
to
fans. This nigga. I want to see Peter. Show your phone. Show your home screen. This motherfucker guy. A badge on that.
There's a badge right there on there.
He's infatuated with the feds right now. I don't know. Shit. But this but I'm just kind of like just checking in with you, bro, to just kind of like for everybody else that's watching, like, man, writing is some real cool shit.
It is,
you know, and especially when you doing something that's creative, not necessarily like an informational piece of writing, but just more along the line of just digging deep into your imagination and then telling a story. You know, and a lot of times it is stuff that you either know about or that you interested in. But like writing comedy, have you ever got into that? Shaun wrote
no.
No.
Nah, and see that's the thing. Like I could probably do it, and I just get some point. But see, again, I do my research. I get some pointers from probably like my homeboy Clayton Perkins.
Yeah,
I'll probably hit him up with something like that or Mark. And do something like that. But see, as a hustler, I would love for them to do something together or do a special together. You know what I mean? Like that. I try to like kind of stay in my lane, but it's always beautiful every time I come out. Because like you asked me earlier, like what was my favorite book? I got a book called Blue Kisses, and that's a murder mystery. It didn't even sell that good because everybody know me on the hood shit. You know what I'm saying? But it was some of my best work. You know, to me. It was some of my best work. But it didn't sell that well because everybody know me just for that one lane. But me as a creator, man, I felt so good writing that book. Like it was stress free. And I was like being a butterfly, like coming out of my shell. Like, man, I was really excited and everything about it.
What's the perfect number of pages in a book to give a bro and a sister?
It depends. If you're trying to write, there's different. You have a novel, you have a novella, and you have shorts. You know what I'm saying? So nowadays, people's attention is so bad.
Right.
A short is perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A short is perfect. And you can sell a short for 99 cents on Kindle, and you will win because you probably got 5,000 words. The average book for me, I write about 75,000 words. If you try to send a book to Carl Weber, he want at least like 80,000 words all day, and they gonna chop some of that shit up too anyway.
And how many pages does that equate to for the most part?
Like it depends. So it goes offside. So if you do an average of a 6x9 book like the Escaping Lord of the Game,
we got 173
50,000 words, maybe 150 pages.
We got 173 in this one.
173 in that.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so that's about like 60,000 word book. So yeah, about 173.
Nice. And what would a short? Yeah. That's not considered a short though.
Nah, that's right in the middle.
That's right in the middle. So a short would probably be like about 100 pages, maybe, or less, even less,
or less,
75.
A short can be 5 pages. You can get straight to the nitty gritty.
Yeah. And you just selling them on Kindle.
I forgot what book I had where it gets. Which book was that?
It's one series that's made off of a book. It's called 3-Sentence Horror Stories, where it's basically like they say 3 sentences and they tell the whole story within 3 sentences.
Damn.
And it's a horror story.
Yeah. So it could be a page. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably making money off of it too.
For sure.
Bro, when you was young, what type of books were you most interested in? And we going all the way. Didn't?
I didn't read a book at all.
Man, I was
always outside.
I love these choose your own adventure books. I don't know if y'all ever seen those before, but like it'll say like if you want to do this, go to page 55. If you want to do this, go to page 44. And it takes you. I could never figure out how they wrote those books, man. Like it was like some amazing shit. But I really liked those books when I was coming up.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, you know, so like,
my mom couldn't afford no books, bro.
Well, we went to the library though, you know, like
bookmobile. You know what I mean?
But the library was like always around.
We used to get movies from there and everything from the library, like movies and stuff like that.
And what's so wild, I used to love going to the library right there on Salem by Colonel White.
Yeah, that's the one I went to, Colonel. And then I also went to Fort McKinney. Fort McKinney Library up there by Ponderosa when I done did book signings there. Trotwood Library, the one on Germantown. Yeah. The main library several times.
So they showed love. My very first one was the one on Germantown. I forgot the librarian that ran it, but she wanted to highlight the talent that was in the city. And I knew so many authors from surrounding areas, from Dayton, Springfield, Columbus, etc. And I started having my own thing going on. So, but I had to salute her for even getting me in the libraries, because it is hard to get in the libraries, colleges, Barnes and Noble, Walmart, etc. unless you got a big distribution deal. Again, I was grinding out the trunk of my car, and then once I got to learning the Amazon roles where they rob you, I'm gonna say it flat out.
Listen,
your book could be $10 and you get like $2.
That's one thing I learned from my very first book.
They stuff like $15, $20 so they can even make $6 off of a book.
Yeah,
right. You know, you spent 18 months writing a book and you getting $6. You come on now, you feel me? So that's why we do it like our own book signings. That's where most of our money come at. Yeah, right. You know, and everybody's starting to venture off into audio books because us people don't have time. We busy and et cetera, but we still like to hear a good story.
Right, right. And you can kind of do it while you're working, while you're driving.
You could be working out. Yeah.
And then so, you still getting funny. That good old stuff.
Yeah. It's a lot of money in that. That's what I'm saying. And everybody asks me like, how do you write a book? Like, I be charging people like $6 to ghostwrite, and I'm just like, man, this shit you could have did yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like plenty of times. Like, man, it's crazy, but it's like if you can write a movie, man, you can write a book. I'm telling you can definitely do it. And you can do it to something that you're interested in. You can write you a fantasy book and it will sell like crazy. If you look at the top sellers, it's children's books, romance, sci-fi. Hood is way at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? We making more money on TV than anything, TV shows and shit.
Right.
You know, we tear Tubi up.
Yeah. So, like, what is trap lit genre?
So I created that because most of my literature was all about hustling and getting out of hustling. So again, I wrote real life stories. So, that's the whole point, like the whole meaning of a trap. You know what I'm saying? So the whole drug game is a trap. And there's some guys that never been locked up before, but it still trap you mentally and physically. You in that trap all damn day and you ain't spend no time with your kids. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you getting bread and you buying them shoes and shit like that, but you ain't been not to one basketball game. You know what I'm saying? You worried about the feds or somebody kicking your door. Like it's so much shit. So trap lit is inspired off of the shit that goes on in our community, especially, like I said, hustling, child molestation, child trafficking, shit like that we really don't like talking about. We always want to highlight like the drug part shit, but we don't talk about shit that your uncle did to his little sister. We don't talk about the smoker. Your mom was a smoker, and now she shining, now she a teacher. So I write shit like that. I write about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah. So yeah, trap literature, that's my own genre, because every time I was hashtagging urban books, that was a real life company. I'm like, oh shit, I ain't about to keep on giving them the shine. I gotta have my own damn hashtag. So I started hashtagging like trap lit. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing.
Right. So like you were featured in Don Diva magazine, man, and I know like a lot of people in Dayton probably ain't. That is hard. Like that's a stat right there. Like to be featured in Don Diva magazine, bro. What was that like for you, and what was the experience like?
Man, so that's crazy I'm glad you said that. So Don Diva, for those that don't know, I don't know if they ever read Don Diva or Feds magazine, shit like that. It really highlights drug kingpins. Back in the day, they used to have a show on BT, like talk about like Frank Lucas and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the different highlights of different drug kingpins. So they came to me in a positive light, even though the magazine is basically about drugs and hustlers of whatever you do. So they had reached out to me and asked me, my story. Man, I felt so good because I used to see these same magazines in the penitentiary. So I just knew me telling my story, highlighting my city, promoting my book, that I was going to reach a whole bunch of people that I wanted to reach that I couldn't reach. And it did, man. It got way out to like Oakland, the Bay Area. I had so many people Arizona. Man, I got people, man, so many people like hit me up like, man, I loved your article. And man, it was nice, man. I love that's one of my biggest highlights of my career
For
because that
sure.
was something that I wanted to do. Not for as Don Diva in particular,
Right.
but I wanted to be in a magazine that I didn't have to pay for. Like Tip Drill magazine, like it's certain magazines that you pay for. Like my homeboy in Columbus called Fire Mag. I was in his mag, and it was love because it was local. Like this shit I'm on right now.
Right.
I've been on different podcasts, but just because it's home, like it's different. If
Shout out to
you
Katie
ain't got no
Dollar.
name at home, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If your name is shit, it's gonna be shit everywhere.
Right.
So anything for home, oh man, it's gonna have my full attention, my full 100% love. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that magazine just highlighted my whole career.
Yeah, that's major.
So if you could go back in this legendary time machine that me and SMED are taking donations for, you know what I'm saying? Like we just, you know what I'm saying? We stacking the bread up. I mean, we had a couple key investors fall out the last minute. And if you want to jump in at any time, you can. But we're going to make a time machine that we're going to be able to send to you via Zoom, right? And you can go in that time machine and go back in your life. Where would you go and what would you say to yourself?
Man, where would I go? I would go back to high school. And tell myself to focus on books, man. I started. My life had just changed. Like when I became a junior, I was just so much into girls and stuff. Girls was always gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? The streets was always gonna be there. I would have definitely took my athletic. I would have definitely took my athletic side and went on off to college and got a degree somewhere instead of where I'm at now. So I didn't get my degree until later on in life, and knowing that now, I would have told myself to take my ass to school.
Word. So here on
school ain't for everybody, but school was for me.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, school was for me.
Yeah.
The streets wasn't, bro.
So here on the Legendary People podcast, we had a thing called the butterfly effect. Either something you said during the course of the interview or something I found during the course of my research that I found was truly profound and amazing, man. I mean, just going through, you know what I'm saying, like me get a chance to, because like we done crossed paths so many different times and I don't think we really formally met like that, but it's like, you know what I'm saying, I'll be at Santana's and you will be there, or it'd be something like that. But to see what all like you've done and accomplished, man, it's just, I mean, you should pop your shit more often, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people who haven't accomplished, I'm dead ass serious, you don't accomplish so much for you to be so humble. I mean, like even after your success, I mean, you still come back and then you give away 100 books, or you know, so like during the process of while you was making your book, you still used to, you know what I'm saying, reach out to your sister Melissa, and she kept on keeping you motivated, but she's also keeping you motivated while you're motivating her. You know what I mean? And if you come home to start the, if I take a, but then when like you come back, you know what I'm saying, like you actually,
he was giving you a point because he said, "How you know about Melissa?" Look,
You know
Peanut gun shy on getting them points taken, boy.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then to start, you know what I'm saying, like your own, you know what I'm saying, like your own publishing company, and then when you look to see that you also, you know, like you make your erotica, you know what I'm saying, books, but you also take time to start like a, you know, like a sponsorship, like a mentorship for the AMB kids, bro. To me, you get a chance to do exactly what you just said. If you can go back in that time machine to change something, you actually doing it right now by paying it forward for the next generation, by giving kids the opportunity for them to fall in love with it. And for that, bro, you are unequivocally a legend, bro. Salute to you, King.
Appreciate it.
SMED,
Thank you.
Yep. And bro, I think that a fitting title for you is a trailblazer. Just you just writing books and showing people that there's another way and being successful at it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, continuing to go through maybe like some slow times, but even when it's rolling, you don't just say, okay, I've already made it, and then stop there either. Like, man, you continuing to go and continuing to jug, man. And, you know, even though you say that the streets wasn't for you, like it still made you into the man that you was. And it kind of like unfolded, like, you know what I'm saying, who you actually was going to become, you know. Exactly. And it's so amazing, bro. Like I love bros that's just doing intellectual things, man. You know what I'm saying? And the ability to change, man. You know what I'm saying? And not stay stuck in any kind of box. And like, I hear just some similarities just from our stories, both of us being around that Rolling Circle, Kings Highway area. You know, like I said, I have written scripts before, man. You know what I'm saying? And I actually loved it. And before I was 22 or 23, I had already written 3 movie scripts. So had I never got my store, man, I would have. And my movie scripts are all copywritten by lawyers and everything. And I took it to the next level and actually shot these movies too. Well, I shot Life Ain't Easy. But then like Gold for Your Mouth, we never wrote it. We just kind of like improv'd and did that type of shit. But I'm just saying, like, I just draw a line of similarity right there. And something similar happened to me, bro, when I went to the workhouse and I had done 30 days, man. And I just talked about this with Deborah Horton the other day, man. I had a bunkie. We was in a dorm and he told me, like, bro, if you don't get your shit together, you're going to go to prison for real. Because I was in there reading. I read Roots while I was locked up and couldn't put the book down. It was good. And everybody would be doing what they doing, but I was on my bunk reading. But, you know, like we would play dominoes and this and that. But they thought that I was smart for whatever reason. And he told me that same thing that the guy told you when you was locked up. Like, you don't belong in here, bro. Right. And you remembered that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Like, you remembered that moment. Yeah. And for whatever reason, it hit you. And you considered what he was saying, and you changed your life, man. And like I hear that, bro, and I'm thankful for real for you to come on the podcast, man, with Zoom, I appreciate it. And just chopping it up with us, bro, because it's geniuses like you that validate our platform, bro. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So now we can say we had Shaunta Kenerly come on the show. You know what I'm saying? Right up there with, we had Tay Winston come on the show, or we had Kenlo come on the show. You know, people who are doing extraordinary things, bro. And I just want to give you your flowers and tell you thank you, Ken.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
I dropped in the inbox the trailer for Bricks, man. If you don't mind us playing at the end.
Nah, you can play that shit.
Let me see.
Okay, YouTube.
I got some little shots of Escaping Lord of the Game of a movie that me, Jason, and all of us we was filming before I stopped. Okay. With Mousy and everybody else.
Yeah. I texted the SMED real quick so he can send it to there too. Yeah, man. So
I gotta try. Now listen, I gotta work some magic in order for me to do this. So people that's watching, if you see a blank screen or some shit like,
I'm not gonna take a point away from SMED. Okay, he's over there doing his
that's
best.
What's going on, man. I'm working, man.
Because
you know
SMED gets the game ball today, man. We had everything go wrong, and for it to be this clean at this point, I am like, because listen, when we was having all of echoes earlier, I'm just like.
I was like, oh, hell no. Bruh. But, man, actually, credit go to the Most High for us figuring it all out, because I was just, like, checking. But this was an important interview, bro. It was important for our Zoom to work, and it was important for us to tell bro's story. For sure. You know what I'm saying? As a native Dayton legend.
For sure.
Man, hashtag date, man. Shout out my bro Beanut D Boss, man.
I ain't gonna feel like a legend until my name down in the old downtown area, boy.
Gotcha.
Watch it on that flow, that ground right there.
Yep.
Then I'm gonna feel it.
Why about Baba Bean Davis?
But you know what though? I mean, for real, even when that happens, you know,
you already are.
Geniuses don't see their genius, bro, and they don't even believe it when other people tell them they are. Just because they know that they have the capacity to do so much more. Yeah. And they know how much they may have missed out on by not working as hard as they could have. So, like, and I was telling Peanut this the other day, like, man, people that tell me I'm doing good to a certain point are just unaware of what I can be.
And I thought that was so funny when he said
you know what I'm saying? Like, you telling me this is good and that's good. I'm like, you know, it's okay. But the shit, I mean, man, we want to go for legacy.
For sure.
I really want to go for that legacy shit, bro.
Word.
I think we all do.
So while you preparing that, you were working on a play as well, weren't you, or you ever completed?
Yeah, I'm working on sex therapy.
Okay.
Sex
Oh yeah.
therapy play. So, sex therapy is a story with my homeboy Sean Sinclair. Shout out to him. He just did a movie down in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
But I did this. I mean, I wrote that book with five other authors. It's a short story of six short stories in one book.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody tell a quick story, some nasty shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit go live. But after about like a year or two, I just started thinking like, man, I could turn this into a movie. You know what I'm saying? But the movie game, in my opinion, is so saturated and everything is so similar. Like I was like, well, let me go back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me start doing plays where you can see the actors, you can hug and touch the actors, and I can travel, and that's what I love to do. I love to travel, and like I said, things do need to be visual, and I think plays is really will be my lane because again, I'm a people's person, so I love to have. You know what I'm saying? Just do something different, man. Just do something different. And it's not like I said. Tyler started off with the plays and stuff.
SMED.
What up?
I think the plays is just that lane for me, man.
Yeah.
So
Keep going, Pete.
yeah. So like, what more can you speak towards, like Tyler Perry's creative genius, or did you hear how he went viral recently?
No, I didn't.
So he said that he hasn't talked to his son about race yet. His son is 7 years old. When do you think is a good time to talk to your son, especially about race and the importance of that, and like dealing with the police and things of that nature?
Okay, let me go a little bit backwards. Dealing with the police, I would definitely start saying right when they become young teenage men.
Okay.
So I'm talking about like 13, especially black men, because we run into issues and we need to learn how to speak to these guys. Even though you should be able to say whatever you want to say, but in certain parts of the country, that shit ain't gonna fly.
Right.
Far as race, and this might be controversial. If you put a whole bunch of kindergartners in one room together, they gonna get along and play and do whatever, or don't get along. But you will never say they don't like each other because of the color of their skin.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So a lot of parents fuck up a kid's head by bringing in the race. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, so I say you should make them aware once they have that, they know the difference. Like, hey, why is Johnny's hair blonde, Dad? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's when I think you should bring it in, when they start asking you those questions. But before that, I think it's too early for us, like 7, 8 years old. But yeah, they will see it when they go to school and whatnot. They'll see it.
Word.
But yeah, as far as a parent, I have 3 boys and 3 girls. But far as my son didn't get called a nigga until he went to Miamisburg school and he folded dude. And I'm not saying that just because my son played football, but he folded dude in the bathroom in Miamisburg. So other than that, he was in Trotwood City School, so almost everybody looked like him. And then the small population of white kids that was at Trotwood, they, I guess, knew better. You know what I'm saying, or just got along with the black kids. But my youngest son, like where I'm at, I'm like out East Charlotte, and the population is kind of the opposite. It's like since he's been going to school out here, he's been in a population where he's the super minority. And like I said, where we come from, we the majority unless you go like out to Belmont or something like that. But like Colonel White, only white people I really seen was like teachers or somebody that worked at the store, like the Arabs or something like that. Or a policeman or a fire truck person. I didn't really see no white folks until I went to school. But I didn't deal with no racism until I went out to like West Carrollton or something. And I remember that because it used to be what was that liquor store? Woody's.
Woody's, yeah.
Yeah, I went out to Woody's, and a group of white dudes in a truck just drove by and called me a nigger. And I hopped in the whip and tried to chase them down, but they hit me on them back roads, boy. I couldn't find them. But you know what I'm saying? But I always knew the difference. But again, as far as being a father, I'm gonna wait till he actually come at me with some sideways stuff. But I've been seeing little stuff, especially down here in the South. I be peeping it, but he don't know it.
So I mean, I want to ask you
My
that,
son
like,
got dreads, the whole nine, big dude, and it'd be good and bad. Like they'd be like, "Hey, can he play on my football team?" And then find out that's because he the big nigga. They want the big nigga on the team. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, but he don't know that. He thinking they just want to be his buddy.
right.
We got the
My son, like, they be
trailer
like, he
pulled up.
fast now. Nigga slow as fuck. That nigga can't run. He just strong.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, definitely salute to him, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I see him with his, you know what I'm saying, his degree from NCCA, you know what I'm saying? So like salute, you know what I'm saying? For sure. But we got your trailer pulled up.
My middle son. Yeah. He went to it's crazy. He went to a HBCU. That's a whole nother story too. That's that ain't nothing to do with me. But he went to Livingstone College and then he transferred to now he at St. Andrews University right now playing football down there.
For sure, man. Like salute to him. So man, we about to play the trailer right now, man. Give us an intro to what we about to see right now.
Well, right now, like I said, I always represent my state of Ohio, especially Dayton, Ohio. This is a trailer of the book and everything like that. This is downtown Cincinnati, and it's basically going to tell you the intro of the book of how he's basically about to come home, and he's telling his cellie that no matter what, he's not going to do what he did to get locked back up in here. And then he going to give you a little intro into how he got to where he is. So it's basically kind of working itself back from him being released from prison to him as a kid with him and his family and his best friend.
Word.
All right, here we go.
Roll that beautiful bean footage, man.
You ain't got the sound?
Sweet as fuck.
So right here, they telling them that they used to always look up to the Jack boys and everything else. He said he didn't want to be no drug dealer. He'd rather be the robber of the drug dealers. That's what him and his brother, he telling his brother he tired of being broke. Like he said he got a plan on how to get rich.
Oh, that was it. Okay. All right. We can hear you now. So
Word, man. So,
that was hard, bro.
Yeah, bro. That's hard. That's hard, bro.
So yes, man, I mailed you that. That's bricks right there.
That's bricks. Okay, that's bricks.
Yeah, that's bricks right there. So you know what I'm saying? That was my most recent one. I released that this April. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I still got some book signings coming up. I think the closest one I'm supposed to be out in Norfolk, Virginia, coming up soon. Man, that's another story too. But man, it's like not only the city showed me love, but I had to grind to get that love though. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody knew me about as an author. But I go to Louisville, Kentucky. They show me love. Atlanta, Charlotte, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, all of that Hampton Roads area. I just did a book signing in Richmond, Virginia. I think that was in May. Detroit always show out. Columbus always show out, but I'll be up in Columbus October 22nd at COSI. And I'm be on a panel discussion, basically teaching people how to be an author, the trials and tribulations of being an author, because it is ups and downs. Everybody ain't getting no $1 million. It's very 1 percentile like the NBA. But you can make money as being a writer for these TV shows and things of that nature. So that's what that panel discussion be from my point of view. And that's October 22nd at COSI in Columbus, Ohio. But yeah, man, I gotta come back home and do a book signing though.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know where and when, but I definitely gotta do it soon.
Shit, do it at T-Shirt Kings.
For sure.
I do it at T-Shirt King.
Now
you said you line it up, I'm there.
Man, it's gonna go.
Now I do have one suggestion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So on October 20th, 2017, you posted. Look at you got built anticipation, right?
Yeah.
So he posted, I was asked to be a book club I was asked by a book club to freestyle a short story. Check it out. I did this in 10 minutes, man. Are you ready? He said, today was going to be a strange day for me, both physically and mentally. On this day, 9 years ago, I have accidentally killed my then husband. I had since remarried, but I have yet to recover from his accidental death. I have called his death an accident, but the newspaper and his family called it murder. And this goes on. This is something he freestyled on a Facebook post, bro. And I'm telling you, it was so riveting. I'm on the edge of my seat. Like, he needs to make this into a full feature, like, film, bro. Man. Like, yeah. Told you I do my research, cuz.
Man, that's
yeah, and that's dope, because that was like in a regular group. I don't even know if that was a private group, though. I remember that joint. Yeah.
For sure.
And
so
see, the sister that club is, she writes a whole lot of BET movies. So you know what I'm saying? I got a friend that writes with Tyler Perry. It ain't Tyler. That's another thing people don't understand. Some people have ghostwriters and some people have a writing team. Yeah. So you might have one person that write the comedy, one person that write, you know what I'm saying, some other shit like the church stuff or whatnot, and then it just comes together. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what the production does. Yeah. But yeah, she had asked me to do that, and I just did that shit. A couple of my books, like I said, I Don't Trust You. I wrote that in like 2 weeks. I wrote the Streets Call Me Treasure 2 in like 2 weeks. So, you know, once I get into it, I'm in it.
Bro,
and that was my most difficult work because I had to write from a female's point of view.
Yeah.
One last question before we get out of here, right? Look, when you're writing a book, do you already have the end in mind? Or do you write and as you go, let your heart and imagination take you to wherever it's gonna go?
Exactly, the second one. And what's so odd is because if I said this to an English professor or teacher, they'd be mad as hell.
Yeah, you're not about to outline. I always
try to tell you to write an outline or whatever the case may be.
No way, man.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. I just let it flow, man. It's like talking to your girl, even in an argument or you trying to tell her your love. You ain't gonna write that shit down, right? You know what I'm saying? So I just let it spill. I just let it go.
Yeah, that's the same way I would do it too.
Yeah, I don't even know the characters' names. I just go.
Right.
Yeah, I just go.
Yes, sir.
The Streets Call Me Treasure. Actually, it was called Treasure on the first one. If you do your research, it was one with the gold coins or whatever. You seen that one?
Yep.
That's what my cousin Bridget. She's a model. She live in Tampa now, but she was a model out of Detroit. And dang, I'm trying to think of the photographer, but he's really big known out there, and he be messing with the what's the dang, she like one of them cat girls. I can't even think of that shit. He be doing all her photography work and some video work for her.
Cash Doll.
Yep, he do all her photography work. But my cousin was actually on that cover. So on some political side, when I try to put that book into Barnes and Noble, into our local library and Cincinnati library, that was like, no. And I'm just like, why? It's art. See, Treasure, I'm saying I had the gold coins in the box where her vagina area is at, right? That's her treasure. You feel me? Like, I'm not just about to open up and then give that to anybody. They didn't see the art of it. They just seen a sister on the cover half nude.
Right.
So they was like, nah, we're not letting this into our store. So I had to change the cover when I signed with Kiki Swenson, who's known for like the Wifey series. She wrote books for like Wahida Clark. She's on a big company. I can't even think of it. But I signed to her and I put out The Streets Call Me Treasure with a different cover. Just so it could be more political correct, which I hated because I like to be me. And that's why I went back to the independent route. So all my covers are now mine. And that's why I like Bricks, because it's clean.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you don't know what I'm talking about. And that's cool.
Right.
You know, but see, Bricks cover, if I'm in a regular book event, kids can walk by and you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. It wouldn't be offensive to anybody.
It wouldn't be offensive. Exactly. So it's clean. So I get a lot of a lot of, you know what I'm saying, like people like, you know what I'm saying, appreciating what I did, like far as,
right.
If you look at a lot of urban covers, it got like 20 people, like even with my first Escaping Lord of the Game is really busy. Nice, simple and clean. Like that's something that I'm trying to teach.
It looked like
simple.
Most of them look like Master P album covers from the
exactly.
For sure.
Cash Money.
That's the way to go, man.
Right.
Simple and clean. That one got pills, guns, women. Oh, girl, she from Dayton too. That's Princess Amira. She went to Meadowdale too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Princess Amira though. She's
look this over one more time.
Bill and them back in the day. Like, that's what I'm saying.
That's how my movie covers look.
Yeah,
we
man.
like that. We like
Bella,
that busy
Bella,
shit.
she on the cover of my Blue Kisses. She was in Jason's movie as the receptionist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I show love to the city, man. I get that shit back. You know, whatever you put out, man, good energy, man. I really do believe in good juju.
For sure, man. So, man,
I appreciate being on the show, man.
For sure, man. So, like, what's next for you, man?
Man, right now, man, I just wanna. It ain't even about me. Like I'ma still always do my art, my craft. You know what I'm saying? I just want to leave my kids something. That's my biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I just bought a house down here in North Carolina. So right now it's just basically leaving them a legacy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to be like me. I want them to be better than me. So that's my goal. Like forget everything, my writing and all that. I'm gonna do that just off the strength of me, and that's what I love to do. But I just want to be a good father, make sure they straight. So when the day I close my eyes, I ain't gotta worry about shit.
Well, that's the most legendary thing I've heard anybody say on this podcast, man.
Man, for sure. That's that legacy, bro. That's what we talking about.
Man, pay some bills, baby.
Well, you ain't cool if you don't go to that school.
You ain't.
What school? Horizon Science Academy, Dayton High School. Man, go see them boys, man. They gonna educate you, man.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? You might even become an author going to Horizon Science Academy, Dayton High School.
Yo, before we get off of here though, I did try to speak at Stivers and do something like that. So I would love to give back like to one of these art magnets. And I've been telling my peoples that for a long time because I know people in the juvenile hall and they be always having these guys that have traffic tickets talking to these kids. They ain't trying to hear that. I would love to go back to my city. It could be Montgomery County, Clark County, Hamilton, Butler, whatever, Franklin, and talk to these kids, but definitely show these kids how to write.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Again, it might not be the political correct way with outlines and all that, but I will show you how to get from the beginning to the end with script writing, books, whatever the case may be, commercials.
My girl Tara Smith.
Money out here plus to make his kids.
My girl Tara Smith works at the Montgomery County Juvenile Court, and she got me the jail, and she got me a chance to come in there and build with the kids and go in there and talk to her. So I'll pass her your number and see if we can do something like that for you. And then, of course, man, with all of the schools, man, I mean, you definitely can do that. We got Will Smith who came. He's the president of Dayton Public Schools right now. And so I'm pretty sure we could get you. And I think Jermel Tucker and Shaunta might be at Stivers. So I can definitely see if I can get your number to the right people in order for you to be able to come and do something like that, bro.
Like for Stivers, you had to basically like kind of audition for certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think writing is a good tool to have because forever, since the beginning of time, that's what we use. Writing on pyramids, caves, everything. You know what I'm saying? Stories is going to be from the beginning to the end.
Yep. For sure. So we're going to try to plug that in for you, bro. And we want you to come through here all the time, bro. We want you to zoom in and do the news with us.
Boy, I'm flying out there.
Yeah, man.
I'll mail the books to the store.
There we go.
No doubt. No doubt. Hey, but let Sheiks for breakfast, Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch. You ever injured, call attorney Michael Wright. When you want to get lit a little bit, get you some good old Kiara wine. And go for your mouth T-shirt Kings, Camera Kings, and Sell Stocks Not Dope every Sunday on the Dash Resource channel. Like, subscribe, ring the bell notification. Shout out to Monty Cruz. Shout out to Michaela. And then shout out to Bushnell Dyer. And we going to shout out Cody Latimer, DV Hogg, Robin Mobley, my bro Mousy. My sis Brianna Steele. Watch the BBL podcast tomorrow. They got who they got coming on, bro? They got C
Money coming on.
C Money coming on tomorrow night at 8:30. Yep. Okay. Carletta LaShawn, Kevin Easley, of course. Big shout out to Ease, man. You did a great job, man. Man, we love everybody, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. We got Aunt B coming on, Who Scal himself. And we also got the BBL podcast, man. So tomorrow we lit once again, man. So make sure that y'all tune in, man. Man, that's it. Bro, you want to close us out with some words of wisdom?
Nah, man, I'm good.
You already done gave us enough.
Appreciate y'all, man. Keep on supporting your local artists.
Speaking of which,
check me out from the Bricks book, Escaping the Lord of the Game. Ladies, I got the sex therapy. The streets call me treasure. Bad girls have more fun.
Yeah.
I will be doing my play downtown across the street from the Schuster Center. It's called, it's a small PNC joint. I forgot what it is. So I will be doing that soon as well. And I'll be doing some shit in Charlotte, of course, as well. So, man, please support your local artists. Even if it's not me, shit. But look me up. Shaunta Kenerly on Facebook, Shaun Kenerly on Instagram, all that shit, man. I show y'all love. I do autographs, all that shit, man. Y'all be easy though. Believe in yourself.
No doubt.
So September 17th, we got the appetizer event with Jay Jones. I'm also hosting with my bro Terry the Voice, and then the very next day I'm hosting the Sir event. You know what I'm saying? So come on out there. Well, I'm not hosting this one. I'm actually speaking at this engagement, talking about investing. So Dash Resource LLC, your business is my business. If you got 650 credit score, get with me. If you got 580, I know a lady.
All right, man.